I have received information which I treat as credible concerning the Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. I treat that one, the people who have told me from the way they write, I treat that one as credible information. Some people have even DM'd me telling me that I should tone down on talking things which may be perceived as attacking him, so that my channel is viewed by more people. Those telling me that, maybe they do not know me. I have been seen on various TV stations, been heard on various radio stations, and been read in various newspapers. In all those instances, I have not been paid. In fact, those instances are so dangerous to my life, and I used to be told, even before it is aired, that I should take care of my security. Now, talking about him, my life is not in danger, and when people view my channel, I get money. So I just want to make it clear that money is secondary. All those times, even before I knew that I could make money through YouTube, I was doing it for the purpose of the truth, not money. So if anybody thinks that I want to have more views, so I should tone down on him so that I have more views, then you are talking to the wrong person. There are some questions I'd asked about Raila which have been answered and which I will address. I have been saying that from Jaramogi onwards, it is documented. So when it is documented, how is it that Jaramogi has no Wanga blood, and yet Raila calls himself a prince of the Wanga? I have received information that yes, it is true that Jaramogi has no Wanga blood. And I've been corrected when I said that Jaramogi is a direct descendant of the initial Luo chief. I've been told no. It is documented, but he only became a Jaramogi when he became a Ker. I stand corrected. So Jaramogi is pure Luo with no Wanga blood. But I've been told that Raila traces his Wanga kinship through his maternal grandmother, and that Raila himself has extensively written. I was even told that I would be given notes to show that Raila has indicated that his maternal grandmother was a granddaughter of the Wanga. I will take it as such that Raila's maternal grandmother is a granddaughter of the Wanga. I'll take that. Then we take it this way. The same person who said so, he said, why should I castigate Raila for saying that he's related to Nabongo Netia, and yet I have claimed to be related to very many prominent people. Vice President Wamalwa kijana, Peter Kuguru, many. And I would say this using Bukusu tradition. According to the Luhya tradition, you are related to some people if you cannot intermarry with them. If you are to intermarry with them and your clan says no, you cannot intermarry with so and so, then that one is what we call relatives. But then when you trace back my relatives, you will find that these are people who are known to me. A person like the father to Senator William Wamalwa and my paternal grandmother are siblings from Buya's home, the place called Kwambu in Chimoi. So Wamalwa Mzee and Lando, my father, are first cousins, and me and Eugene are sons of the first cousins. Is that makes us second cousins, isn't it? So that is how I am related to Wamalwa kijana. Peter Kuguru, his mother and my maternal grandmother are sisters. And even when my grandmother was detained in committee for being a Mau Mau sympathizer, Peter's parents are the one who adopted my mother for the period of the emergency. These are people whom, if I wanted to intermarry, or if my children were to intermarry with them, the clan would say, no, you are marrying relative. That is what I'm saying. If you count all of them, there is traceable blood relationship. So Raila's, is it great-great-grandmother was a Mwanga, not a Mshisese. And even a Mshisese, not all Abashisese can say that they are princess. So this issue of saying that he is related to Nabongo, it is hot air. He has very distant Wanga, not even Abashisese. He has a distant Wanga blood. Then there is the issue of farming in committee. The person who has said it, he said that there are documents Raila has written where he talks about how he used to farm in committee. He is ready to forward the documents to me, but I say no, thank you. I want to tell the millenniums, because they are not aware. The days of Kanu, we had something that was called detention without trial. In detention without trial, as the name suggests, you never were taken to court. You are never taken to court. Or if you are taken to court as the case is continuing, then the Minister for Internal Security would sign the Kenya, would gazette a notice in the Kenya Gazette where he would say that so and so has been detained under Detention Act. No trial. So that is why it used to be called detention without trial. You'd be taken to prison, maximum security prison, and you'd not be tried. And when you are tried, then and even now, you are told you are jailed for 30 years. So when 1 year goes, you know you have 29. But detention without trial, first of all, you don't go before court. That is one. Second, you don't go before court. Second, you are detained indefinitely. If you are to talk to these people who had been detained during those days, and they are still there, Njeru Gadhangu is there, and others, they'll tell you that even on the day that he was released, imagine you have been jailed for 30 years. You reach 26, you just know that you are remaining with 4 years, isn't it? But they will tell you that even on the day they were released, they had no hint of they are going to be released. That is one. So when you are detained without trial, you are detained indefinitely until the president pleases. Leave alone this thing that they have. There is this committee that reviews each and every case that, and then they would recommend for early release. No, yours is just the president who is the one who will decide to release you. That is another one. Another thing, without even going through the notes about Raila going to farm, this is what used to happen. If you are a detainee, political detainee, you never saw the sun. You were only seeing the sun for 30 minutes a day. You only saw the sun 30 minutes a day. Those of you who have medical history, they'll tell you that if you stay for long without sunshine, your skin will have a problem. So they used to be given 30 minutes of sunshine. Now for him, who was detained, to have a land of some acres, to be 2 or 3, to be busy planting, talks a lot. And even those prisoners, you know, those days, okay, we had people who were masons, we had people who were woodworkers or whatever, but 98% of the prisoners, the work was very simple. You wake up in the morning, you go to the farm, come back in the evening, from farm. Even those people who were jailed, normal jail, and were going to farm, they used to go and farm together, many of them. But him, he had a farm of his own alone, and he was not an ordinary prisoner. We don't have a record where he had been convicted of any crime or whatever. His was. Then there is this picture of Njonjo inquiry. He was promised that he would be released. He was promised that he would be released upon giving evidence against Njonjo. That is when he came out of detention and went and gave evidence against Njonjo and went back to detention waiting his release. He was never released. So those who may say that you go with him and he gets a deal, he forgets about you people. That one could be true. And then there is the question of why recently he had outbursts. You see, between me and you, and I know his supporters don't like that thing, but you see, only God knows if I'll see the sunset of today. And only God knows if you will see the sunset of today. And God knows if Raila will see the sunset of today. But when you mention such thing, you'll find them they're saying, oh, how many assassination attempts have been made on Raila? Why do you wish him death? Why do you do? Death is for everybody. According to Islamic faith, they say, kila nafsi itaonja mauti. So, apart from that, what I've quoted from the Quran, if Raila will be fine and healthy on that day, he'll be sworn in. And let me tell you, once he's sworn in, don't expect, he'll not notice anything in Kenya. He will not. He will not notice anything in Kenya. His outburst recently was when Islamic OIC, Organization of Islamic Countries, 30 countries, sat down and endorsed the Djibouti candidate. And then people started calculating, now if all Islamic countries in the continent support Djibouti, and if all French-speaking countries support Djibouti, then Raila has no chance. So he started the outburst to send a message to Ruto that if I don't make it, remember, I'll go back to the street. That is what he has been doing. That is what he has been doing. He has the masses behind him, and the only way to keep him out of the street is to have a job for him. But let us look at this way. Somali has a 5-pointed star, isn't it? The first star is Italian Somali. The second star is Hargeisa, the so-called British Somaliland. The third star is Northeastern. The fourth star is Ogaden in Ethiopia. And the last star is Djibouti or French Somaliland. Now, as we speak now, we have two Somali candidates. Somalia itself is sending a candidate. Djibouti is sending a candidate. Both of them are Somalis. The other thing is, those 30 organizations of Islamic countries, they have no voting. Just like me saying I don't want Opio and I to go back to parliament. I'm not a voter in his constituency. So you find that out of the 30 countries, only 10 were Africans. And if African Islamic countries decide to vote for a Muslim person, remember there are two, Djibouti and Somali. But you see, he wants to be given on a silver platter, of which he will get. But I can take it, you take it to the bank, and not a commercial bank, not even the central bank, to the World Bank, that this is his seat for the taking. And also, take it that once he goes to, he has been saying, and everybody are saying, that from Bondo to Nairobi, it's a 6 hours drive, but from Addis Ababa to Nairobi is a 2 hours. Even his position itself will bar him from commenting on what is happening. And even he'll be so busy that he'll not have time to comment. It is just unfortunate that Azimio, both Azimio and ODM, have no inheritance plan. So that is why, and that is why I agree with Professor Makau Mutua, that those in the Azimio who do not want him to go to Addis Ababa, they do not want him to go to Addis Ababa, not because of any other thing. We have so many people, especially so many elected people in a certain corner of the country, who have been elected and who will continue to be elected on the strength of his name. Once he's out of the picture, they will not go back. And that is why they are trying to confuse him. But whether they confuse him or not, get it from me, the next chair of African Union Council is one Raila Amolo Odinga. The only unfortunate thing is that he will not seek for re-election because of the age. So East Africa will only have one term. And you see, Northern Africa, they are sending a vice chair. He or she will deputize Raila for one term and then be the chair for 2 terms. That is the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.